What's good? What's good? What's good, y'all? Welcome to the channel. As you can see, we are up and doing it to the fullest. And before we go any further, we would like for you to make sure that you go to the channel page and subscribe to the channel because we got a lot more stuff coming off the bat with this type of content. We are out here trying to let it be known what is going on back behind the scenes of some of these net stars out here, these people that are stars that are on the internet. That's what we do. We bring them to the forefront. You already know. Hopefully, we can bring you some actual and factual stuff. Sometimes we ain't gonna get it always right, but we're gonna get as much as we can, okay? So this is stars here in the building, man. Just doing some morning stuff, man, trying to get some information out to you, man. And I ran across this topic here, man. Me being an athlete myself, I just didn't like the idea of, where this is all going. It's like, come on, man, we can't be doing it like this. Let me check my audio right quick, y'all. Make sure we're doing the doggone thing. This is yes, we're all good. I appreciate that. So, with that being said, I'm gonna strap on the earphones and get you guys ready for this flight because this is gonna be a cold flight. We might be going into the twilight zone right here. This is gonna go to the twilight zone. And if you guys get a chance, man, before we do any of that, man, remember, man, please go to the Facebook group, man, and make sure that you guys get on board over there. We got over 20,000. Remember, I think we almost got 21,000 since the last time I took a screenshot of that page. So yeah, it's going down. we growing, and obviously we on over here. We trying to hit 2K over here on this on the YouTube page. You know what I mean? And if you also get a chance, man, go over to my other page, man, the Home Team Network, where we are focusing in on sports. But not this one. This topic here, it's a little bit, yes, it's on the sports, okay, but it's more of a social aspect, and something that's kind of prevalent in the United States. It's kind of like, we know it exists, but we have to deal with it because of this, the social aspect, and, let's say the political too, because everybody get their rights, am I right? So, you seen the side, you seen the topic, you seen the subject. Okay. Now, me being an athlete, like I mentioned earlier, it it goes, there's a lot of commonality that goes with, and growing up, I played basketball, I played, football, baseball, track, all of that, and what that did, man, was we kind of doing stuff, right? And one of the things was is that you was a man, you were a strap, all right, and you don't touch a person inappropriately that ain't got nothing to do with athleticism. You know what I mean? In other words, yeah, you can check somebody, you can tackle somebody, you can do a whole bunch of things. This is a physical sport. Both of these sports are basketball, football, hockey, you know what I'm saying? But there's no touching as far as any like sexual innuendo is concerned, okay? And as the years have gone on, there's been a few, people that came out. If you remember the guy that got drafted was going to get drafted in college, he came out and let everybody know that he was part of the LGBTQ community. Okay, and I really don't remember what happened to this guy, if he made the team or what. All I know is that um, it kind of made people feel kind of, and of course it would, because who in their, in their conscious mind, because the majority of people are not like that, especially in athletics, at least in men's athletics. There's just not a lot of that open-mindedness as far as your gender identity and what you identify with sexually. And we just here to play sports, okay? That's the way I am. I'm here to play ball, man. To be honest with you, man, I gotta feed more up in the stands and all that. So it ain't none of this weirdo stuff going on that I consider weirdo, but this guy, when we used to see him, and to this day, let's just say it, he's still a physical type of specimen dude, right? He was very, very athletic, And if y'all remember this play that he did right here, this Superman play that he did in the dunk contest was just totally, inspiring. It was awesome. It was like, dude, okay, I get it. Even though at that time Shaq was calling himself Superman. There was a little bit of, head beating to that. He's like, man, you can't come steal my moniker. I'm Superman. The S stand for Shaq. But Dwight Howard, okay, is our guy. And he comes off with, saying that essentially, hey, what's up, 1, 2, Freddie? Thank you for pulling up. Freddie is pulling up. 1, 2 is the person in the building. Appreciate you coming in. But Dwight pulls up and, he doesn't care about all that. Let's just face it, we thought he was going to do a lot of great things, And I mean, from what I can see, the man had all the physical attributes. He had, athleticism to the utmost. And it's like, okay, I'm a Dwight Howard fan. I'm liking this guy who's playing center, right? I'm like, okay, he's definitely looking like he could lead us to some sort of at least some gold medal appearances and all of that. And I believe he did at some points. Um, we never heard any off, at least none of us here in the media game. All right. I mean, it never came off like that. Like, there was something weird about him, even though he seemed a little eccentric, okay, with his, let's say, his wardrobe. All right. He definitely, I don't know, we was calling it an eye for fashion or what, but it was kind of eccentric, let's say that, okay? And you know, but still, was that you're still on the playing ground with being identified as a man, all right? So these allegations that he's been caught up in has got him looking kind of zesty right now, okay? He's looking really zesty. All right. And the way that they legally got him cornered is that he he's had to kind of come out of the phone booth. As I first put it, I like Superman that came out the phone booth, or let's just say out the closet, all right? Because he had to say, well, his encounter with this individual who's pressing charges on him, saying that Dwight Howard then took the butter cake, okay? Or he tried to. He did something that was sexual to another man without their consent. So I'm like, oh man, the plot is thickening for Dwight Howard. So he had to go so far as to say that no, there was nothing like that, because the man was able to prove through text messages that they had conversations about meeting up and discussing freaky situations and whatnot, and they had a rendezvous. So that was proven, that was established that they did meet up. But what happened once the individuals met up is what is that question here? All right, this man is saying that he said no, and no means no. Okay, and he wasn't down for any funny stuff, but really, I think what he was down for, I'm kind of reading between the lines here, he was down for an encounter with Dwight Howard, but Dwight Howard brought out somebody out of the back room, and it was supposedly a man dressed in drag. Let me hit y'all with this one.
Was womp womp womp. Was womp womp womp.
One more time.
Womp womp womp.
I mean to tell you, I don't know what what it was. That's right. It's wild. This man was coming over to have another encounter, a sexual encounter with another man, and brought out a man dressed in drag from a back room and said, "Let's have a threesome." Like, I would have ran out the room, period. First of all, even if I'd have realized the man wanted to have some kind of encounter with me, a man, right? But these are the times we living in. So, it ain't like there was no woman up in there. I'm like, no, this ain't for me, man. I thought maybe we was gonna sit up here and get to talking about your basketball career. Maybe I can get an interview. Not this. No, I'm out of here. But this man was like entertaining something else, and Dwight was with it. So once the she came out the closet, then it was like, oh, the man was like, I don't want nothing to do with this shit. At this point, from what I'm understanding, according to the reports, is that there was a forcible act that was done on him. Now, here is insert an exclusive, and it says, Dwight Howard admits meeting man on Instagram to hook up. Okay, this is really weird. Okay, people are talking about this. First of all, shout out to For No Fame, man. I got some footage from you, man, and from my girl Rondell's Unpopular Opinion. You guys are always on top of stuff like this, and it's happening because it's it's sports, related, even though it's not. Okay, it's just a surprise that an individual of this man's stature is involved in something like this. So Dwight Howard admits meeting the man on Instagram to hook up and denies lover was assaulted or forced into threesome. Okay, first of all, let's just say this. Assault, rape, none of that stuff is funny. But what is kind of weird though is the fact that we talking about a 7+ man, running around, so-called trying to have dates with other men, and it's like that in itself, is like a weird situation because you're gonna be like, man, I'm looking at a big ass fucking man. How do I deal with this cat, And dude, I guess he froze up and said he didn't want nothing to do with none of these threesomes. But Dwight, he insisted from what the paperwork says. So I have some court documents here pertaining to that, okay? And we're gonna run a little bit of it through you, all right? And if I have to read some of that.
Yeah, why? No matter what you do, why? You know what I'm saying? They gonna hate you. They gonna find a way to hate you. You feel me? Why? So the best thing you can do, why?
So Dwight Howard denied he said he saw a man he met on Instagram, according to documents obtained by RadioOnline.com. Shout out to NBA admitted that he was reached out by this individual with a direct message Instagram. He sent his cell number over to them and the text after he received. He said Howard told him he was into freaky stuff. Oh my goodness. They exchanged more text messages, several of which was sexually explicit content such as photographs and videos. Harper said Howard wanted a threesome with Kitty. He said Kitty started performing oral sex on Howard. Oh my God. This is when Howard brought the surprise person out the back, and it was the man. Harper said he was uncomfortable, did not want to participate. He said Howard tried to touch his thigh and stroke his genitals through his underwear. Harper said he asked him to stop. No, no.
I know that hang cause I'm on.
He stood up, grabbed Howard by the thighs, and
sitting on his throne. Tell your bitch leave me alone. She's bugging
held Harper
nigga.
down
She stay on my
before
phone.
non-consensual
I told her last night was the only time.
Mr. Harper,
that she can eat
the
me
lawsuit
like
read.
a supper time. I'm killing
He was
her
pinned
just
on
like
enforcement
turkey
main
time.
by
I
defending
need
continuing
more bitches 'cause my
sexually
appetite 3 or 4
Howard
bitches
said
like
Howard
every
stopped
night. The
performing
ones that flaked on me paying the price.
and forced him
Pick
to
up
make
the wrist, let you see the
oral
ice.
sex on
Turn
him.
on
He
the switch,
tried
let you see
to
the
call
light.
Uber after this, but Howard made Kitty take more.
I'm feeling myself like the
You're
usual.
making sure,
A
you
west side
making
nigga
sure
got a been
that
a dog.
this
Sipping on Gucci,
individual
Gucci
stopping
head to
the
toe.
police,
Yeah,
the
I hit it
police
once, but I don't
precinct
love
to
her
file a
though. I
report.
hit
He
it
had
just
Kitty,
quick,
which
ain't no
was a
pillow talking.
man,
Never trust the
escort
bitches
you
what my
home.
mama taught me. I would trust the bitches what my papa taught me. Nigga
Oh
hate
my
me, but I ain't
goodness.
worried
I
about
already
it.
knew that
I
Kitty
leave your
was
shirt
a
wet like
man
a
dressed
shirt
as a
bottle.
woman. And this
Run
is
up
how I
on
knew
me, I'm
that
going full
because
throttle.
Kitty and Harvey
Number
would say
head
it
shot
was
to catch the whole
consensual.
bottle.
Well,
Can
Howard
see
is
why
admitting
these
to all of
niggas,
this.
they hating on me.
He wants the
I know
lawsuit thrown
why
out of
they
court,
hating. They mad
not
I'm
based on the
on
fact
now.
that
I
he's
can see
denying
why these
that
niggas,
he
they hating on
is
me.
into gay
I know
activity
why they
or
hating.
anything like
They
that.
mad I'm on now.
His
I'm in the
answers is
club
that
doing men plus some real sauce.
he is participating in these things consensually. So now what we have here is the courts have pretty much put Howard in the wall, or could put him against the wall, has made him more or less have to take stance, and that stance is now he's come out the phone booth. Superman that came out the phone booth, okay? He's not Superman no more. He's Superman. No, Howard. No, you just ruined every 100 million people that worshiped you as a basketball player and the athlete, understanding of what you really represented. You was in the closet. You was in the phone booth, Superman. I don't know what to say. How you went from winning the dunk contest in NBA and being an all-pro representative to this. It's just weird. Hella weird, Freddie. It's hella weird. But you know what? Something we didn't notice way back then when we looked at Howard's outfit that he had on. If you look down there towards his midsection, don't that kind of look like he got on some women's panties or something? I didn't think about it back then. I Superman did used to wear red bikini briefs, but I mean, what man does that? I mean, in these days and times, no, that's not part of the outfit, especially in the NBA. So he did try to cover up with these basketball trunks, which goes on to show you that he was covering something up. But as time went on, Howard showed a whole lot of zestiness in the backgrounds that we weren't aware of. We just weren't aware of. I mean, I'm surprised. Here's some examples of some zestiness that he was participating in. He liked to dress up. Oh my goodness. No. Say it ain't so. And he seems to, enjoy this perception. It's weird. All I can tell you is that, if you see this person walking around the town, 7'2", with a long wig on and some pumps, what would you do? What would you do? I mean, you'd have to turn around and try to go the other way, because this is scary. This is hella scary. And now knowing that, Zesty Man doesn't have a problem with trying to take the butter muffins. It's like, yeah, we used to have an individual when we was kid, right? Now, mind you, this was just like it was like a spook tale, right? And we used to run. We used to be out late night, me and my little gang, right? We used to be out late night. We was only like 12, 13 years old. We was in the projects. And there was this rumor about some guy named Big Junior. Big Junior, right? Big Junior. And whenever we see somebody that we couldn't quite recognize and it was dark out and stuff, we was like, it's Big Junior, it's Big Junior. and we all break and run, right? We break and run. No, boy, I ain't gonna lie. Some of us turned out to be all state athletes in track and all of that type of stuff, right? And we could get away. We could get away. There was Big Junior wasn't catching us. We didn't know we passed like that back then, but that's how it turned out to be. But looking at this, looking at Zesty Dwight, I'm like, you remind me of Big Junior. Only you, Mike, can catch him. Well, right about now, they got there's a lot of people talking in the media business about it. It's getting out there now, and one of the best that's ever done in the media game, if you ask me. You know, Stephen A. He had something to say about it. We're gonna listen to what Stephen A. got to say about Superman coming out the phone booth.
Now, I have to confess to you, some subjects are just uncomfortable for me to broach. I know that's hard to believe, but if you follow my career, I just don't get into people's personal business. You know, their personal business is their personal business. There are two exceptions that I make when it comes to something like that. The one exception that I make is when you end up in the police blotters, because that's a matter of public record and we have to cover that. The other exception is that when it goes further than that and it's in the courtroom and it's a part of court documents. And that's where we get to Dwight Howard. Because you see, it hasn't made much sense to me when I think about a guy, a Dwight Howard, a DeMarcus Cousins, by the way. DeMarcus Cousins should be in the NBA. I don't know why the hell he ain't in the NBA. I don't know 6 big men better than DeMarcus Cousins, to me. DeMarcus Cousins could play in the NBA. But that's a subject for another day. Right now, I'm talking about Dwight Howard. And when I think about Dwight Howard, I think about a dude that was a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, 2008-09, 2009-10, when they lost to Kobe in the finals, of course, 08-09. And then, of course, 2010-2011. 3 consecutive years, he won Defensive Player of the Year. 5 times in his career, he's led the league in rebounding. As a matter of fact, just looking at his numbers here, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The first 14 years of Dwight Howard's career, he averaged double digits. He was a 2-time shot blocking king in the NBA. This brother's defensive prowess is unquestionable. So much so that you've had people wondering, did Dwight Howard deserve to be left off the top 75 list ahead of
there's reasons
Anthony Davis?
Somebody knew something.
Think about that.
For whatever reason, they
Think
were
about
biased based on that against.
Because I'm telling you right now, these are the kind of questions that you had. But except Dwight Howard is in the news for the wrong reasons right now. And I'm telling you right now, it is not comfortable for me to talk about this subject.
Now, as we know, he went around the NBA a lot. He was getting shuffled from team to team, and we didn't know why. I was like, why would they try to hold on to something like this? Because he seemed like he could be a franchise player and continually, help a team grow and move towards the NBA championship. He seemed like he could be that type of cornerstone type of center. Okay. And it's like, and to be honest with you, I felt like, he had way more years in him. He's still playing overseas and well, but there was something going on that we didn't know about. There was some innuendo in the background, like, this guy's he has a fruity behavior somewhere. He was sus. Look at
I just don't get it. I'm being careful. You may wonder why. Well, allow me to read this to you. It's from an article, and it states, NBA star Dwight Howard has denied sexually assaulting a man he met on Instagram and asked a court to dismiss the man's lawsuit. The man, his name is Stephen Harper, said he approached Howard with a direct message on Instagram. He sent his phone number, and Howard sent the text after receiving it. According to court documents obtained by RadarOnline.com, the NBA legend, because let's face it, to some degree, he is a legend. There are levels, but he's a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's an NBA champion with the Lakers. It's a 5-time rebounding champion. The brothers, you know, we ain't seen Anthony Davis pull that stuff off, even though Anthony Davis is a much better offensive player. But according to RadarOnline.com, the NBA legend admitted that he met his accuser via social media in May of 2021. Howard said he exchanged text messages with Harper between May of 2021 and July 2021. It's a 2-month span, several of which included sexually explicit content, such as photographs and videos. Lord have mercy. Hold on. Oh, my goodness.
Lord have mercy. I'm with you on that, Stephen A. Lord have mercy. He just killed a whole bunch of kids' dreams and average respect. I want to be like Dwight Howard. I want to be Superman. If you look at any old footage of him, you were like, man, dude, he's dope. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, this is just the bombshell. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at a bombshell. It's being dropped. And just have not fallen into the NBA world. And he was definitely trying to make a comeback. For whatever reason, they had already shunned him and shipped him off to to the international league. And to me, he could still play. I mean, it had to be something. Tell it, Stephen A.
Los Angeles Lakers star said Harper came to his home on July 19, 2021. Howard admitted that they went to his room, took off their clothes, and kissed consensually. But Harper then claims Howard surprised him by introducing him to a man dressed as a woman. Harper said the man called himself Kitty. Now, when I think about the name Kitty, I think about Donald Sterling when he had his mistress and he got caught saying about Magic Johnson, why do you have to be friends with black people? Like, what is it? What is it about black people? Why do you do that? And she said that old man, Donald Sterling, was a little kitty cat. Well, this man, his name is Kitty, and he began performing oral sex on Dwight Howard, and Howard said he felt uncomfortable and didn't want to participate. I can't do this no more. He said Howard tried to touch his thigh and stoked his privates through his underwear. And stop! I can't. I just can't. I can't do it. Get rid of it. Stop it. Get it off the screen. Get it off. Look, y'all. To each his own. You gay and that's what you want to do. Cool. I don't have a problem with anybody living their life. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to judge. To the transgender community, I got nothing to judge, just between you and God. That's your business.
Your business.
But the details.
Why do they got to be out there?
But it goes a step deeper when you're familiar with the person. See, all of us who cover the NBA, we've seen Dwight Howard on many occasions. Body of Adonis, when I was getting in shape, Dwight Howard was one of the people that you gotta get in shape. Because this brother's known for being in shape. chiseled, low body fat, strong. I mean, you know, and the ladies, you know, I've seen Dwight Howard with his share ladies. Oh, this report was quite shocking. But you want to know what I peel from it? And why do I bring this story up? Because the first thing that came to my mind when I was reading this, other than the fact that I want to see or hear about or imagine the images, other than that, let me tell you what came to my mind when I thought about this. That's why teams do.
That's what I just said. Exactly.
That's why
I'm just
teams
watching
do.
this with you guys, all right?
Now, whether they're going to admit it or
First
not,
time
and I'm
seeing
not going to
the
mention
response.
team because I don't want to incriminate anybody or accuse anybody of something I simply don't know. I'm guessing. What I'm saying is that that's the first thought that came to my mind. That's why they don't want them.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna inject something on y'all right quick that I have here in my library. And I want to say shout out to Porno Fame. He does his homework, man. I got this from you, man. Y'all get a chance. Go over there and subscribe to that, man. That's my guy. I'm a mod over there, man. And they always got the news. I'm telling you, they got the scuttlebutt. They got the real cut. And he will break it down for you. This is what he played. And I was like, oh, shit. There it is. This is why they don't want Dwight Howard on the team. What the fuck? What the? And look at dude. What the? So Dwight Howard has a propensity to go around fondling other grown men's genitals. And he does it in such a way, it's like people aren't even, they're kind of oblivious to what he's doing. I mean, because it's so wide open that you're like, oh, okay, they just, I don't even call it, I can't even call it playing around. It's like you have to tell yourself, I don't believe I just saw that. Okay, no, that didn't happen. And you just are dismissing it because it's some weird old shit. But that's what he's doing. I'll show y'all one more time. This is what this guy's doing when he's on the team, on the sideline. Who knows what's going on in the locker room? He probably staring at people's Peters and some more stuff. And they're like, man, people are uncomfortable. And they're like, this dude gotta go. And they're letting the staff and the coach know, and the people that deal with the team know that, hey man, nah, man, we can't do this. Is like, hell no. Stop grabbing my nuts. But then in the middle of arena, I had to, something would have had to happen. I had to time out and let's go to the locker room. And yeah, you 7'2", I don't know, you gonna have to do something, man. Because I'm about to hit you in the head with something. Damn, let's hear what Steve had to say with the rest of this. This is crazy.
Because what do I constantly try to educate y'all about? Somebody that's been a reporter for 30 years. We always know more than we reveal, because our intel comes from the actual sources. So it is not beyond the realm of comprehension that a team was looking into bringing Dwight Howard with that defensive prowess that he brings to the table, that a team was not looking to bring Dwight Howard on board and then found out through their investigative process, because they investigate everything, that he had this court situation coming down the pipe. It's just a reasonable conclusion for me. I'm totally guessing, but it's a reasonable conclusion to deduce. That's what I look at. That's what I pay attention to. That's what I steal.
Facts. Me too, bro.
From why somebody wouldn't want Dwight
Why
Howard.
don't they want Superman?
Why wouldn't you? He runs the court like a gazelle. He can jump out of the building. He can block shots. He can defend. He ain't the offensive player he thinks he is, but he's not a scrub. But he is an elite defense player, or at least once upon a time he was. And seeing how some of these teams struggle defensively, there's no reason why you wouldn't have Dwight Howard on your team, basketball-wise. I don't get it. At least I didn't get it.
At least
I'm just guessing. But I'm guessing that I get it now.
We get it now. It's Super Mamm.
Sorry you're in the news for this nonsense.
Straight
it's quite
up.
Embarrassing. It is what it is. And by the way, when I brought up him not making it on the top 75 list of all-time NBA players, it was Stan Van Gundy, former coach of Dwight Howard and the Orlando Magic in Orlando, went to the finals. It was him that went off calling it absolutely ridiculous that Anthony Davis was on the top 75 list over Dwight Howard. That's a debatable subject as well. Who belongs in that top 75 list more, Dwight Howard or Anthony Davis? I guess we could answer the question, assuming that any of us can bring ourselves to talk about basketball when we talk about Dwight Howard from this day forward, in light of the headlines. He's in the news for now.
Facts. Damn. Boy, this is a weirdo ass. The times that we live in, just definitely weird, man. We have to say to ourselves, man, that we have to just accept the fact that these guys, man, they're not realizing, man, that it's not acceptable by everybody. In fact, that's exactly why you ain't on the NBA team right now. Hey, Medicated Wookie, what's up? How you doing? What's good? I'm glad you guys are my day ones, man. You come, you show up, man, and you support. I appreciate it, man. And, you know, we got some weirdo topics right now. And of course, it's Weirdo Wednesday, right? Okay. I wanted to get them on Weirdo Wednesday, but you know, I brought it on. Let me go and wait till Thursday because I had to do some more research. I didn't just want to slander the man. But yeah, he's out here grabbing people's privates and like I said, who knows what's going on in the locker room? And now he's got a case of trying to do some weirdo stuff, you know, at his apartment or his place. And now, this is the thing, man. If any of you have seen, man, he has a beautiful wife. A beautiful wife. His life is like, you know, it's laid out. You know, he's got a, you know, obviously he's got a good crib. You know, he's got a beautiful wife. You know what I'm saying? And all of this zesty behavior is going on whenever he's hitting the streets, and it's just like, what the hell? Not Dwight Howard. I'm shocked. I'm super shocked. You know, back then when we used to see these pictures, he used to be like, oh, he's clowning, right? He's clowning, but obviously he's having fun with it. Look at him. Is he snapping his finger and everything? Oh, look at the white. The wiener. The wiener. Look at her. Oh. And he's like feeling himself. I mean, this we know, okay, this is some, a lot of times we see this as like somebody saying it's a ritual, right? It's a ritual that's happening with our men, you know what I'm saying? And they're making them go through doors and stuff like that. But it must be, it looks like the white skipping through the door, like he's loving every minute of it. I don't know, man. Again, how did you come from Superman to Superman? This is crazy. And all I know is, man, there's a lot of kids out there is like shaking their head, like, no, not the white, the wiener. But be careful, he got the big junior syndrome. He got the big junior syndrome. I mean, like I told y'all, there was a guy, man, when I was young that we used to have to all run from in the projects. We called him Big Junior because he was trying to take the butter cakes. And we used to get away, right? But how you gonna get away from this guy? Come on, man. He can fly through the air, run with the fastest of speed. He's super. I mean, he's 7 foot. He got a wingspan that's probably 10 foot. How you get away from him? Oh my God! You gonna have to do something to him, straight up, and then you're gonna be in the news, looking weird as hell, just like the individual is taking him to court. But at the end of the day, them court papers make you have to admit, man, you was doing something. Why was you meeting up with the man? Why was you in those quarters with the man? You know what I'm saying? Why were there weirdos coming out the back room? You was doing something, man. And that's what we found out as to why Dwight Howard is not really part of the NBA as far as being included in all-time lists, as far as Steven still being able to play. To me, he could still play. He's athletically, he's still cut, and he's participating with sports overseas probably because zesty behavior is way more acceptable. It's like, man, it's all coming out. And yes, it's safe to say Dwight Howard has came out of it. He's came out of the phone booth, y'all. Superman.
Womp, womp, womp. It was womp, womp, womp.